Good morning, St. Louis. Welcome back to another episode of Who's Talk Mobile, where conversations get deep and intellectual. I'm your host, Artemis Caldwell, founder and CEO of Who Is Incorporated, the best nonprofit organization out there. If you don't know, now you know. As always, well, not even always, but you came here, dropped a lot of knowledge for the people. Everybody got a lot of questions too.
Off of what I said?
Yeah.
Well then I'm gonna answer them.
We want to know what's black nationalism. You talked a lot about this guy named Marcus Garvey and what he stood for, and then you know, everybody. This is Camron Hykes. This guy is amazing.
Cool.
But brother, like, besides off the skating rink, I wanted to talk to you. This is like part 2 of our episode.
Absolutely.
And I want to just nail down what is it that you believe black nationalism is. Excuse me.
All right. So black nationalism is.
Let's open this up.
When black people control everything in our community, with no outside forces from any other race, group, or ethnicity. So we control the schools, banks, supermarkets, hospitals, politics, neighborhood. We control everything. But people always say it's not possible, but it is possible. But a lot of people either don't believe in it, haven't studied it, and they get real. How do I want to say this? They don't even want to try, so they just kind of just let it be like our current situation is gonna be our permanent situation, and I don't believe in that.
And you said something off earth like it's cool. What is it? It's cool to be ignorant, but it's not cool to stay ignorant.
Exactly. The information is out there. Even if they do hide it, which is why Tariq Nasheed called his documentary series Hidden Colors, because they like to hide our history. So basically, long story short, everybody knows black history but black people.
Okay.
And that's not good, because studying black history isn't about studying studying how high we've come. It's about how low we've fallen, like, because we gotta study like the slave trade and how that happened.
But you're talking about only in America, because in other countries, like I got an African friend, and he told me that they're not taught about slavery. You know, he said he didn't know.
See why not?
He said he didn't know about slavery until he came to America, and this was in my college years, my college career. So around my 1820s, you know.
And that's another thing. White supremacy dominates all areas of human activity, and that includes education.
Really?
Yes.
So what's your stance on, like, I want this conversation to be very deep, because I want people to understand who you are and what it is that you're about. So if you can, who is Marcus Garvey?
Woo-wee! So that's my idol.
Okay,
so Marcus Garvey is an African born in Jamaica, and I'm going to tell you why I said that later. So he was born in 1887. He came in Americas in the early 1900s. And man, he was a beast. So he developed the Black Star shipping line.
Yeah.
The Back to Africa movement.
Yeah.
And he unified black people globally.
How so?
So what he did with the Black Star shipping line, that was for like food, any other resources we needed.
Okay.
Right? And then that was also to take people to Africa.
That's why. Okay, that's why I was
like, take the black people who were serious into Africa. So it was both.
Okay.
And then of course, you know, when it comes to black people and their quote unquote black leader, you know, it's always sadly the black people always got to turn down.
Yeah.
And it was I know the specific guy's name. It was James Wormley Jones.
James
Everybody look him up
Wormley
on Google.
Jones.
He was the one who was commissioned.
What's his name?
James Wormley Jones.
James Wormley.
Yes,
Jones.
Jones. Yes, that's his specific name. He was commissioned by the FBI to infiltrate Garvey, and then that's how he got that fraud from the Black Star shipping line.
Yeah.
And then he got sent to jail, and then deported. Then a part of that was also with W.E.B. Du Bois. Them two were beefing too.
But I also heard, or even did my own little research, that Garvey was actually working with the KKK.
I don't know how that was possible, but even if he did, I'll say this, even if he did, well, when we go to the table to white supremacists, what we want them to do is leave us alone.
And that's what the man that he was coming at. He was like, okay, I see the KKK, y'all not really killing blacks, but y'all want blacks over here, and then we want ours over here. And he was like, okay, I'll work with y'all in that sense. It wasn't like a hand-in-hand relationship, but it was a black people over here, white people over there.
Right, separate.
Yeah.
That's why with your episode on segregation, I didn't like the word segregation. Because if you look at St. Louis is a segregated city. We got the Delmar Divide.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in segregation, because that means that white people get all the resources and then black people get no resources. Because if you look at St. Louis, I constantly tell people, what is over there for the people to do? All you see is liquor stores, Chinese food stores, no banks, fast food restaurants. And where's the hospital? There's nothing over there for the people to do. No access to opportunities. I don't know what that Boys and Girls Club doing. That used to be Herva Hoover. That's on Grand. But other than that, that's like the only quote-unquote organization that's really over there. So what are we supposed to do when there's no jobs that pay a good wage, no good education? Where the good schools over there? I think there's a Shop and Save over there, and then a Schnucks. But both of those are like the chilling circle with black people. Specifically, my mom, she don't even want to go to those. And then no hospital. And then I'm not sure what that library over there is doing.
Did you say Chitlin Circle?
No, chilling circuit. Like it's
Chilling
like less
circuit.
than, it's not up to par to the white standard.
Got you. Okay.
So, of course, there's gonna be crime if there's no access to good housing,
Right.
good jobs, good schools. That's what I
Right.
constantly tell people. So, stop talking about, oh, North St. Louis is so bad. Crime is a function of two things: no good jobs and no good education. Criminals are not born; they are made. And if you think about it, who were the criminals in the early 1900s?
You right.
European immigrants, right? Exactly.
That's
'Cause-
gangster.
yeah, exactly.
Gangsters is right.
Exactly. Al Capone, was he black? No. So even amongst white people, when they are marginalized, they're going to commit crimes too. That's with any race of people. If you deplete resources, you're going to have crime. When jobs are low, crime is high. When jobs are high, crime is low. That's for any race of people. But for us, we don't get that excuse. Why? Because they're trying to perpetuate the image that black people are violent. And then when you perpetuate that image, when the physical Holocaust began, whether it's with police brutality or supposedly black on black violence, they justify that through, hey, black people always commit crimes, so how can you blame them for shooting us?
Yeah.
But with them, but with white supremacists, it's not about logic. It's about power. Everything they do is from a what? Power position. And they do not share power with black people. It was evidenced by Magic Johnson. You know the Magic Johnson, the basketball player.
Yeah.
He was the like a big in the organization for the Lakers.
Okay.
He thought he was gonna get power, and then he realized that white people backstabbed him. They may grant you a position, like they did with Obama, but you don't have power. I don't want a black mayor, black governor, a black politician, black alderman. I don't care about any of that. I want black power. Because even if the black politicians are supposedly good, if they're with the Democratic Party, they can't help us, because the Democratic Party is no different than the Republican Party.
So let me ask you this. What is black power then?
Black power is through unity.
And that's going back to...
Race first. Because here's the point. Here's why I say race first over everything.
Okay.
You can choose your religion.
Yes. I remember you saying...
Exactly. You can choose your religion. You can choose your sexuality. You can't really choose your nationality. And you can't choose... Wait, you can choose your political affiliation. And you can't choose your gender. So... let me. Go ahead. So I would say I classify as a quote-unquote Christian for the sake of this argument.
Oh, I wanted to go back because when you said, because you're throwing a lot. Now you good. So when you said, when I asked what is black nationalism, you said it's controlling everything.
Yes, through ownership.
Okay. So then what's the difference between national... Because I would say nationalism is identifying where it is you belong to.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? And then black power just would be, we own everything.
But both of those kind of go hand in hand. And the problem that I kind of have with black nationalism is we like to separate ourselves through nationality. Okay. So Africans on the continent want to separate themselves from Africans in the Caribbean and Africans in Asia and then in Europe and then in America.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So what I'm saying is you can keep your nationality, but the Pan-African flag, which is red, black, and green, that is a race-first flag. So your nationality is irrelevant. Your religion is irrelevant. Your gender is irrelevant. Your political affiliation is irrelevant. It is race first. So that's the flag we need to fly. Not a national flag, the Pan-African flag, the race first flag, because that is the only thing that connects black people globally. Because we all pretty much have different ideologies. We don't practice the same religion. Some of us are men and women, so that's another distinction. Some of us Democrats, some of us Republicans.
You either got either or.
Yeah, so... Then
well, I mean, no, not really.
So, but the only thing that connects us is blackness. So I'm race first. So I don't care if you're a Muslim and I'm a Christian. When white supremacists see us, they don't see our religion, they see race.
Yeah.
So that's what we should come together over, because that's the only thing if that's the only thing we have in common, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
You don't need to have the same religion, political affiliation, ideology as me.
So is race number one on your list? Like,
absolutely, because that's the only thing that unites all black people globally.
Okay. And this is what Marcus Garvey was on.
Yes.
Because he gave a speech on going back to Africa and how black people are great, powerful, gods, this, that, and the third.
Yep, up ye mighty race, you can accomplish what you will.
Yeah.
It's his quote. It's my God, man.
Yeah. And see, so because I liked his ideology and I thought about it, where if black people have, let's just say, for the sake of the argument, we gross $1 trillion, but don't spend none within ourselves, right? Everybody know the black dollar is strong besides black people.
Facts.
So, if that's the case, the reason why I asked the question, I don't know if you remember from last episode where I asked whose philosophy would you rather see come back, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, or Malcolm X? It's interesting to hear people like say, oh, you want black, power, this and the third. But yet, if we know that the black dollar is the best dollar, why don't just all of us leave and go to Africa and rebuild America? You see what I'm saying? You could have, I heard somebody say, you can have like 5 basketball players with their millions and millions of dollars go over to Africa, and now they could build a stadium and people are still going to watch. Why? Because my favorite player is now playing across seas. You see what I'm saying? Wherever we go, we can create wealth, promise, for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Wealth, promise, and prosperity for ourselves. That way we can have a better future. And I always wonder, why don't people just leave America? It's not like it sucks here, but it sucks. There's racism, there's crime, we're underneath a system that is like designed, even our judicial system, even is designed to keep a particular people down. And it's always came to my idea, like, why don't y'all just leave? You know?
I say two reasons. So I like to directly answer questions. So yeah, some people don't like to directly answer the question. You ask them a question, then they try to answer around it. Mm-hmm. So there's two reasons why. One, a lot of us don't know where we from. So where are we going back to? Okay. And then two, we built America for free. So why would we leave something we built up?
You clock out of work.
No, but I'm saying though, we built this country, we built the world for free. Like, how dare we leave?
That's like you voluntarily built, you volunteered your time. Not saying you volunteered, but in a more so sense, you volunteered your time. Now all of a sudden, let's get out of here. Hey bro, they starting to trip. Yeah, we built your house, we got all the praise, we got all the property. We know, as blacks, we have that pride. We know, oh, I'm a god. We know, oh, I'm better than you. Right. So why are you still here if that's the case? Why still fight an enemy that you're not necessarily losing to, but you losing to?
We gotta fight, but that's why the Pan-Africanism is so important. Mm-hmm. We could stay here, but
your idol is telling us to leave though.
But he also said not every black person is gonna be able to leave.
Okay. Yeah.
And the reason he want us to leave is because through Africa, that's where we have most of our numbers. Like, there's this narrative that Africans are the minority. No, Europeans are the minority. Africans are the majority of the world. So that's where we have most of our numbers. So that's where we can fight and win, because we know, like, Africans could teach African Americans, like, what to eat, like, how to plan and strategize over there. But then we bring our resources with us, so then we can help build up Africa.
Yeah.
So I agree with leaving to an extent, but we also have a constitutional right to this country.
But the people who wrote the Constitution stole that from Native Americans.
That is also true. I agree with that.
So again, why? My question is, like, I hear you. I'm just playing devil advocate. Like, why are we dealing with America when it wasn't set up for us to even be here free?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Another reason. And this goes back to what I said, but we don't know where we're from. Slavery psychologically destroyed our connection to Africa. Would you agree?
Yes.
So like I said, where are we gonna go? And then I'll say the devil's advocate to why not just leave is, dang, I'm having a brain fart.
You get it.
I just thought of it too. So wait, say what you said again.
I'm saying, like, why? Okay, you came, you guys got whips, you had a horrible time here. You know a little bit that, at least a little, that you came from this place called Africa. A little bit. You may not know where you came from or what part of Africa that you came from. Fine and dandy. But you don't need to be in a place that's hostile. Bob Marley found more peace when he left Jamaica and went to London, where the police don't carry firearms.
Okay.
He don't. Now you will have eliminated the risk of, one, police killing me. Two, having that anxiety that, man, if I do get pulled over, I could get killed. You see what I'm saying?
Nah, okay. I just thought of my answer.
Gotcha.
So
okay.
here it is. People always talking about leaving. Like, the white man ain't in control of Africa too. So that's a counter to the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere you go where you're not gonna have to deal with his wrath. Unless you want to go to North Sentinel Island, where that missionary got killed, but they got a strict rule, bruh. You step on this property, you die. There is no negotiation. There is no talking. No. You come, enter our space, you die.
Okay.
So I don't know how willing they will be to let other Africans who are not from North Central Island in. So there's nowhere we gonna go where we gonna escape racism, white supremacy. There's nowhere we gonna go except space. They might meet us in that too.
Yeah.
So there's nowhere to hide.
But Nelson Mandela did his good jazz over. But I'm saying, if all of us leave, you can't beat us up all. You can't beat us all up.
They'll find a way.
But if all of us are here, and we have the money, have the resources, have everything, because we came from her,
Right.
took what we made her and transferred it over her. That ain't nothing but what the students do back home.
Right.
That's what a lot of other races do when they come to America. They come here for a split second, do what they got to do, then go home. You see what I'm saying?
Or they just build a cultural empire and then take that back home, and then they might stay.
You see, but look, they still went back home.
Right, but here's the difference between us and other groups.
Okay.
They have a cultural empire. They have unity
So you
that we do not have.
So you saying blacks don't have structure to connect us all?
And that the only structure that connects us is what? Race first.
Race first. Okay.
And every group comes to America to build an economic empire for themselves, everyone except African Americans.
But keep in mind, we didn't come here. So if you're saying building economic power is the goal for people who are coming.
No, but
America.
I'm saying even for the people who are here already.
Okay. The goal is to build economic power.
Yes, because that's the only thing that can help stop racism to some extent. Because once we have the organization and the money is circulating, then we can do what? Have an army. We can control the politics. We can control our neighborhoods. We can control our schools, banks, supermarkets, and hospitals. And the army is important. And that's why I've been thinking about this for a while. The black people who are in like the military, the Navy, we should use their knowledge of like warfare and gun warfare to our advantage.
That's what the KKK doing.
We should definitely use that to our advantage. Like, they know strategy.
Yeah.
Now the only thing we would need is what? Unity, guns, gun manufacturing, bullets, food. That's all we would need.
Yeah. Basic warfare.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the economics controls everything else, because what do people follow? The money.
They do.
The only thing that matters is what? The color of the hand that makes the decisions. So it doesn't matter if you put a black face out front like they did with Obama. Who made the decisions? The white supremacists. And I also wanted to say, never trust any black person that white supremacists openly endorse. Never. No. You best believe that that black person has their own best interests at heart at the expense of the black community.
Yeah. Like the guys who set up Fred Hampton.
Yep, and I know his name. William O'Neill. Look him up.
William O'Neill.
O'Neill.
Yeah, black guy.
Yup.
And he was just like, he knew that the FBI approached him and was like, yeah, we want you to take down, get real close to this guy, blah, blah, blah.
In exchange for this.
Yeah.
It's freedom.
So.
But it's crazy. Somebody negotiates to get you free, but then you killed a person who's trying to get you free. So basically, you right back where you started.
True.
And he committed suicide.
True. See, and the thing that I wanted to touch on, bro, is like slave. Like when we talk about, because we've been talking about just the mindset and the actions behind of what to do now. You see what I'm saying? I feel like slavery. Reason I say go back to Africa is because slavery was not meant for us to be free. You feel?
Nope,
it was not in their plan. The powers that be, it wasn't in their plan for us to be free.
Of course not.
So when we talk about freedom and liberties and stuff like and such like that, freedom and rights, I really don't believe in it because it's just like I'm already at liberty to have my own freedom, my own autonomy. Like it's already God given for me to breathe. Now, yes, you may have people to try to challenge that and check it, but it's God given to me that I breathe and follow my own mind and do me.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like, and then when we talk on slavery, I'm talking on the school system. The school system not teach you about money or how to be a boss. It's teach you how to be a great employee and move up through the ranks. You see what I'm saying? And that's the same deal when we got free. When slaves got free, we wasn't told, oh, now here go a plan for you to go do this, go do that. It was still you enslaved. You just now don't gotta work a 9 to 5. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly. And the people who owned the businesses at that time, they weren't going to employ black people. So what do we have to do to eat? Rob and steal.
Yeah.
And then they created the vagrancy laws.
Yeah.
So the vagrancy law was anyone who has skills and like abilities, but they didn't have no place to stay. So then you do something, you going right back to jail. So that's what I'm trying to tell black people.
Because what was that? That was like the petty crime laws.
Yeah.
Like it was one of them that I seen. It was like people had a curfew. If you was out like past 10 or something, you was getting locked up.
Yeah.
And it was just like stuff like that really made life for me thinking about it. Like even right now in 2019, just thinking about like, man, you straight had to be in the house at a certain time and you were like grown, or not even grown, but you just trying to find something to eat or be better. You see what I'm saying? That's what really not necessarily ticked me off, but just got me on the tip of like, why don't you just leave? Now we have all the freedoms, the know-how. Hey man, I'm out. I'm gone. You ain't gotta see me no more. Bet. You wanna treat me like this, you wanna have all this like that, y'all can have the quote-unquote paradise, but we won't be here. I want all of us to be gone. And watch, because I wanna bring this experiment to you. Okay, you got four groups. You got a classroom of 20 people, right? Classroom of 20 people, you break it down into 4 groups of 5. Your first group, you get them $50,000 to start a community. Flat out. Second group, you get them $50,000, but they gotta split it amongst each other. See what I'm saying? So okay. 10,000 here, 10,000 or 10,000 for all 5 of y'all. Mm-hmm. And then the third group, y'all only get 25,000. Y'all get half of what everybody else get, and y'all told to build a community. Then you got the fourth group. The fourth group, y'all don't get nothing. We don't give y'all check job. But all of y'all the whole classroom got to build a community. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the black people are the people who didn't get anything.
It could be like it can play out like that, to where the first group, ain't nobody gonna be sad. Everybody gonna be like, okay, this cool, we jamming this and the third. Woo. The second group, now you start to introduce individualism, because now I don't have to give you my whole 10. I could give y'all 5 and keep the other 5 for myself.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then on that third group, now you introducing I want to say comparism. You know what I'm saying? To where now they comparing like, dang, why we only get 25, or our stuff don't look like that. You see what I'm saying? Mm. And then the fourth group, now you instilling more so morals, values. Now y'all looking at, oh, they got this, they got that, and we still got to build our community. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you want to say that's a black community, now what do we need to focus on? The passage of who we are. You see what I'm saying? Just like we just said with the fourth group, y'all don't have nothing. So what do y'all need to focus on? Building that community and knowing yourselves. You see what I'm saying? So now y'all, the 2 richest groups, gonna be the one with nothing, because y'all don't got nothing to worry about. Y'all don't have nothing to lose. So everything y'all got is what you made. See what I'm saying? And the first group, y'all got $50,000. Everything y'all got, y'all could lose that, but y'all got a head start on everything.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? So the 2 groups right there, they're going to be the more happiest. That makes sense? And then you got the two in the middle who gonna be looking at everybody like, man, y'all the ones who messing up what we got going.
I just say white people are the one who got their head start. That's why I don't give out money to poor white people.
Yeah.
You got a 405-year head start, bro. That is a waste of good white skin, bro. This whole country, this whole world was made for you to succeed. So what do I look like as a black person giving you money? Hell, it's easier for you to get a job than it is for me.
I feel that. I mean, but it's a lot of poor white people on Section 8.
Exactly. That's why they try to perpetuate this narrative that blacks are lazy.
Yeah.
Bro, y'all got a whole handout. And they want to get mad at us for affirmative action. It's about for people who are incompetent. Bruh, who is in the White House?
But also for that, you use a massive evil, not to say like that Donald Trump is a massive evil, but a massive ignorant, let's just say a massive evil to enlighten everybody, because now everybody is on the tip of, oh, I need to be smarter. It's so, everybody want to be smart. Everybody want to be conscious. Like, that's the new wave. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, like, you always, like, if you want people to be better, you need somebody that's a real, excuse me for saying, but a real fuck you type of guy. I can't stand him. So, you gonna shoot this way to do everything you can to not go that way.
Right. That's pretty much what I did with the Popeye's chicken. I'm like, oh boy, here come another trend, bro.
Man.
That's why I do not follow trends. No.
Everybody in the Popeye's.
Like, there's this stereotype that if you see a whole bunch of black people running in the same direction,
you supposed to run too.
Yeah.
Run with them. I mean,
it depends on the situation, but when it comes to the Popeyes,
I'm
going the exact opposite.
Yeah.
Any other instance, I might run with her, but with the Popeyes and any of these bogus trends, I'm going the other way.
Let's just say, if there's a crowd of people, not just black, if there is a crowd of people just running, no, I take that back. Because if you see a crowd of white people, and you know what? I gotta read the crowd. If they running like frantically, I'm running too. But like, if I just see like a group of white people, I might just think like, oh, they on a job or something.
Right.
You know, but I know like blacks, like we run. But like you can it's a swag to black people.
Exactly.
Like we got a certain type of run that we.
And everybody else is trying to mimic that swag.
Yeah. So most definitely, bro.
Yeah, and with poor white people, you hit on a great point. There's white people on Section 8 and stuff. Man. Some white people's only claim to fame is that they exercise privilege against black people. Yeah. They'll be like, man, like Shannon Sharp told a story when he was younger. I guess he was at the schoolyard at school or whatever.
Okay.
So this white kid told Shannon, hey man, you got a hole in your pants. Shannon was like, I know I got a hole in my pants, and I'm the one who put the pants on. Then Shannon told the white kid, man, you got a hole in your shirt and your pants. But then the white kid said, so, at least I'm not black. And that's the idiocy of white people. They will go against their own interests, aka putting 45 in office, against black people. But that's not right. No. I think I said it wrong. Well, yeah, I think I did say it right. They will vote against their own interests just so they don't have to deal with black people or don't have to deal with a black man in office. Yeah, I said that right. It don't matter that it's gonna hurt them. As long as they don't see black people winning, they cool. It don't matter if they hurt themselves in the process, because there are always white sacrifices. So you best believe they're gonna try to experiments on white people too.
And that would be the ignorance of privilege.
Exactly. They don't give a damn who it hurts, as long as the majority of white people are not affected.
Self-preservation.
That is the first law of nature. Yeah. Which is why I don't agree with interracial dating. And here's another reason. This is something I forgot to say on the first episode about why I don't agree with it.
Okay.
There's something called the mulatto problem that is in The Destruction of Black Civilization by Chancellor Williams. I'm going to keep shouting out that book. Black people, go read it. Where mulattoes were created and they didn't have the full status of being white or Asian or Arab, but they weren't classified as fully black either. So they were literally and figuratively in the middle.
Yeah.
So they would classify with the non-black side when it suited them.
Yeah.
But then when they saw that they were being treated like the full black, no, I gotta
Yeah.
disassociate myself from them. Which is why we need to stop creating quote unquote mulattoes, because they are psychologically confused. I got a black parent, then I also have a non-black parent. But then I see the non-black parent engages in thought, action, or behavior that is against black people. So am I supposed to go against my own parent? These are the conversations they have in their head, because it's hard for them to go against somebody who made them.
True.
So stop dating interracially. Like I said on my Instagram, date interculturally. Black people are a global people. So that's why I say Pan-Africanism. So it's cool if you date a Jamaican, Trinidadian, Cuban, Ghanaian. It don't matter if we got the race first mentality. But if we don't have the race first mentality, then we're always going to try to separate ourselves by nationality/culture. But me, I'm a Pan-Africanist. So anytime I see a black person, you best believe I consider them my brother or my sister, unless they're not on code.
Okay.
So I don't care what part of the world you from. If you got melanin in your skin, until you prove to me otherwise, I see you as a brother or sister.
And to go on to wrap up this one, bro. We was in the beginning of our previous episode. We didn't know. I was lost for words, a little flustered. But what it is, the three things that I promote through my podcast and through my organization, Who Is Incorporated, is positivity, act selfless, and understand positive and negative consequences.
Mm-hmm.
That's what those are the three things that you was trying to hit on. And then I specialize in effective goal setting, character building, and personal development.
Right.
You see? So, with that being said, man, there's a lot of things out there that we talked about in this episode and that we touched. Most definitely, we're going to have some more in store.
Yes.
Most definitely.
And I told you I had to fix what I said, so I'm going to say it really quickly.
Okay.
In the first episode, I misspoke. There is no other group that has gone through what black people has gone through for as long as we've gone through it. Here's the key part. Without receiving reparations. Native Americans got reparations. Jews got reparations. And it's crazy. We got reparations. We gave the Jews reparations in America. We kind of had something to do with that because Hitler got his inspiration from slavery.
Yes. Or
and then,
not necessarily slavery, but what Americans was doing to the Native Americans.
Right.
Yes.
The Japanese
Got
reparations. So everybody else got reparations. So when we say that we need reparations, we mean that. But first, the last thing I want to hit on with Brother Raw hit on. We cannot have reparations that requires money if we don't fix the minds of black people.
Yeah, shout out Brother Raw.
Exactly.
Shout out Brother Raw.
Like Dr. Umar said, if white people gave us $1 billion, you best believe white folk will be $1 billion richer. Because where are we spending it?
Yep. Yep.
So I finally got it off my chest, so now I can stop thinking about it. Because it's been hard to me ever since. Because I started looking at the episode like, damn, fudge.
Oh, well, look, bro, we're going to have a lot of conversations. This is just second of many.
Thanks.
Appreciate you, man.
This is Black Unity right here. Black brotherhood, black sisterhood. We need that.
We need that. We out. Peace.